Hi, I'm at the Hunting Hollow parking lot, just starting to hike, and it's very pleasant weather, a little cool. Uh, I'm heading south on this pretty nice path. It's 6, 8 feet wide, not rutted from here anyway, and let's see how it goes. It's basically running down this old creek bed, it looks like, where there's no water. So I do have 4 liters on me, and I do have a filter. I'm expecting to see some water, but not here. All right. This is pretty much what the trail looks like for the last mile. I have crossed the creek 4 times, maybe 5 times, and these poles have paid off. My feet didn't get wet, but the little rocks weren't all that stable. Have some nice poppies in this dry creek bed. It'd be a spooky tree to sleep under at night. This area looks like it's been heavily grazed. Well, it's about lunchtime, and luckily I'm at the junction of Wagon Road, and there's a bench here. Lucky me, I can make my coffee and maybe eat a little snack for lunch and enjoy the shade before I take off again. Still no signal. Very nice spot, really. The weather's been excellent. I'm very comfortable, getting used to my pack. I've had to make some adjustments to my camera. It makes a lot of noise attached to my backpack, but it's working out fine. So far, so good. All right, time to have some coffee. Just finished lunch, which was coffee with some sugar. It was fine. Some walnuts and dried persimmons. When I started there in the parking lot, there were maybe, let's say, about a couple dozen mountain bikes getting ready to go, and some had already gone out. I think they were going north. I haven't seen any. I'm moving south, getting ready to move east. I'm at the park boundary, southern park boundary. And there were 2 hikers. They look like day hikers. And they turned back at about 1 mile. And a woman on a horse, she turned back at about 2 miles. And then there was a guy who passed me. He was almost running, really. And strangely enough, he had a fishing pole sticking out of his pack. I don't know how you're going to fish here. There's, so little water. So I have no idea what he has in mind. And he's basically running half time. I saw him running up, coming down a hill. Looked like he'd gone up to where there was a lake. So I don't know what he's up to. Maybe looking for catfish, bluegill. I don't know. So I had this very pleasant here. I've heard and seen the typical things you expect to see up here: turkey vultures. I've heard frogs or turkeys. Numerous birds, and a lot of little wildflowers. And so I'm getting ready to pack up and move on. I found this, or it found me, this camp called Willson's Camp, and looks like a run-down horse facility. I mean, very run down. There's a propane tank over there that's super rusted. There's a horse trough up the hill. a restroom, porta potty. It seems to work. Garbage can, but they don't take garbage out here. And a couple of very ramshackle buildings. Let me give you a look at what these damn things look like. So this is the one building. It's seriously run down. But there's a picnic table, which I can use to sleep on, which will be nice. Keeps moisture down. And there's the restroom. Cement, pretty good shape. And up there on the hill, I've walked up there once. I'm too lazy to walk up there again. That's a horse trough, water dripping into the trough. I guess out of a spring someplace, and I can use that water. I can filter it. So I'm very lucky. I didn't think I was going to get any water up here. And I only brought 2 liters. I thought I brought 4. So that's quite a deal for me. It's pretty nice up here. During the summer, this place is uninhabitable. But this time of year, it's pretty nice. And there's another rundown building over here. That looks like an outhouse over there. It's got that look. And over here is the other building. You can see it over this little knoll. It doesn't look... I don't even go look at it. I don't have any interest. Again, another look at my my abode. So, there you go. So here's the bed, made up 3 items, well 4 items. Well, ground cloth, thermopad, a cocoon Coolmax liner, a pillow, which I haven't figured out how to inflate, and my sleeping bag, of course. There it is, top of the picnic table. Looks pretty comfy if I can figure out how to inflate the pillow. How hard can it be? All right. I don't think there's a step I take without seeing poppies. It's not really a dense field of them, but they're all over the place. I got a later start than I wanted. Well, I hoped for. I'm huffing and puffing already. I'm heading up to Willson Peak. Should be all down from there. All right. So this is where the mountain bikers have been hiding. I'll take a picture from far away because they might scatter once they see me. Smile!
Hey-o. Have a good day, man.
You too, bye. This is on top of Willson Peak. Looks like a big chunk of serpentinite or serpentine, which is unusual. It's not that it weathers easily, not resistant to weathering. I'm surprised to see it on top of a peak. It's a big chunk of it. You don't see this much exposed. Pretty spooky looking trees here. This is a common look with this lichen draping off these trees. Seen a lot of mountain bikes coming up this trail.
Somebody told me Henry Coe, the guy, the rancher who was the original owner of this property, after the Spaniards, that is, he liked to put his roads on the ridges so he could look on both sides and check his cattle. So some of these, the roads I've been on primarily were old roads that he had put in. They do run along ridges, and they go straight up and down these ridges. They don't switch back or anything. And this trail I'm on now is a trail, and it's more pleasant. Some of those other sections were a little dicey for me. They're pretty steep. Not a problem for a four-wheel drive, but I've seen mountain bikes walk up some of those trails. A guy told me he broke his neck up here. He's able to bike down to the hospital, and he's still biking. He's older than I am, 67. So I'm not far from the end here, and I'm probably 1,000 feet from the Coyote Creek bed, probably a mile, 2 miles, I don't know, from the parking lot. On that ridge, you can see one of Mr. Henry Coe's roads. That is steep coming down that ridge. I would hate to walk that or bring a mountain bike down it. These surfaces are kind of slick, and I'm not sure brakes would stop you. That's a long, steep ridge line coming down there.